In this video, we're going to learn the basics of sequences and series. The first thing, a sequence, that's just a list of numbers. All you do is you put some numbers in an order, that is a sequence. There can be a pattern to them, there can be no pattern to them. All it is just a list of numbers. Now, some notation here. We're going to call A with a little subscript 1, that's going to be the first term. A with a subscript 2 could be your second term. And in general, AN is whatever the nth term is. Like n is 10 means the 10th term, n is 100 means the 100th term, and so on. Just a way of saying the general term. So you can have whatever crazy sequence you want to. You can say 5, and then negative 75, and then pi, and then 0, and then 0, and then 0, and then 17. It can be anything. Just some list of numbers is your sequence. Now, normally there's going to be some sort of nice pattern involved given by a formula. And these next two examples here, they're going to give us a formula, and they're asking us to find the first 5 terms of the sequence. So for this first sequence, AN is 2n minus 1. That's a formula. It tells you for any n, you can plug it in and find the term. So A1 is the first term. If you plug in 1 there, you're going to get 1 output. If you want the second term, you plug in 2, and you get 3. If you plug in 3, you get the third term, that's 5. And then the fourth term, and lastly the fifth term. And there's the first 5 terms of the sequence, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Now we could keep going, but this problem only asks us for the first 5 terms. Similarly, for the second problem here, if AN is 1 over n, so A1 is 1 over 1, which is 1. A2 is 1 over 2, which is just a half. A3 is 1 over 3. A4 is 1 over 4. And A5 is 1 over 5. And so this sequence written out is 1, 1 half, 1/3, 1/4, and 1/5. Now, we could sometimes ask you to go the reverse, where I have the sequence written out, and I want you to find a formula for it. I want to say that this can actually be an incredibly challenging problem. It means you're looking at these numbers, and you're trying to find a pattern to them, and patterns can be a very, very tricky thing to do. Now, we are going to see in some future videos some special cases where it's not too hard to figure out the formula for the nth term, but just in general, this could be a really challenging problem. Now, for this problem, it says 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So if we want to think about this, we can say that's 2 to the first, 2 squared, 2 cubed, 2 to the fourth, 2 to the fifth. And from this, we can see that AN is just 2 raised to the power n. So this would be the formula for this sequence. Again, some of them could be much more challenging than this. Now that we've talked about sequences, we need to also talk about a little bit about what series are. Series is when you are adding up the numbers in a sequence, and you can specify you add up certain numbers of it. So the notation that we're going to use is sigma notation here. And every part of this notation is going to be important to figuring out what's going on. So the AN on the right, that's the formula to plug n in. The number on the bottom is the first value to plug in. And the number on top is the last number to plug in. So in this problem here, as we can see, this summation from n equals 1 to 5 of AN, it means it's A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus A5. We add up those 5 terms, and that is the value of the series. Now again, I could spend a whole lot of time talking about series. We're just doing the bare minimum right now, just to understand the ideas of what we're talking about. Here's an example. I want to find a value of this infinite series, or sorry, this series here. And it starts with n equal to 3, so we plug in 3 into the formula that we see. And we plug in the next number 4 into the formula. And since 4 is a number on top, that means it's the last number we plug in. 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1, which is 6. 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is 24. And so the answer to this series is 30. Okay, so you can, whatever formula they have, whatever numbers they give you, you can plug them in and work out an answer to the problem.